Everyone waiting for Seattle home prices to crash is watching the wrong signal. Boomers are holding paid-off homes, tech employees are buying with stock wealth, and outside capital is still competing for limited inventory. I've helped over 890 families buy and sell here, and I'm seeing this shift play out in real offers and client meetings. Today, I'll show you the 3 groups reshaping who owns in this market and how local buyers can still compete. There's a house like this on nearly every block in Seattle. A couple in their late 60s, mortgage paid off decades ago, kids long gone from the rooms they grew up in. Everyone assumes a house like that is about to hit the market. That assumption is where many people get this market wrong. The common belief about Seattle real estate goes like this. Baby boomers are getting older, their kids have moved out, and soon they'll downsize and put a wave of cheap homes on the market. It's called the silver tsunami, and the logic sounds solid, right? National research points to cheaper Midwest and Rust Belt metros as the places where that wave is most likely to land. Expensive coastal cities like Seattle may never see the flood people have been waiting for. Older Seattle homeowners are still changing the market. Many empty nest owners are choosing to age in place instead of selling, and the incentives support that choice. King County offers a senior property tax exemption for qualifying homeowners 61 and older with household income under roughly $84,000, which can save them real money each year. Think about it from their side for a second. The house is paid off, they know every neighbor on the block, and the tax break gives them one more reason to stay. That home gives them a place to live, long-term financial security, and an asset they built over decades. Most people won't trade that for a smaller place across town without a strong reason. Keep that paid-off home in mind. It connects to a tax number I'll break down when we get to who's buying here. Now, when these owners eventually let go of the house, many of those homes may pass directly to their millennial kids instead of reaching the MLS. That wealth transfer is changing who owns Seattle real estate. Washington recently raised the estate tax minimum, and today an estate has to exceed just over $3 million before the estate tax applies. So most families passing down a paid-off Seattle home may keep most of that value in the family. If you're waiting for a wave of cheap boomer homes to hit the market, I wouldn't hold your breath. Much of that inventory may already have a next owner before it ever becomes a listing. And these families are only one group changing who gets to own property here. All right, real quick before we go any deeper into this, if you're thinking about what comes next for your own paid-off home, whether you plan to stay or make a move, I built a free home valuation tool for this market. Scan the QR code on screen to get a real number in under 2 minutes. My contact info is in the description if you want to talk it through. Let's keep going. While one family holds on to a paid-off house for the next generation, a different kind of buyer may close on one down the street this week, and money isn't holding them back. That's buyer group number 2, and their wealth has nothing to do with inheritance. Amazon runs dozens of office buildings in South Lake Union. Microsoft's global headquarters sits just up the road in Redmond. Smaller AI companies are growing across the area too. Seattle and Bellevue now have a major hub built around artificial intelligence instead of search engines and social apps. Many people working inside those companies get paid in stock along with their salary. When that stock rises the way it has over the past few years, employees can turn it into cash fast, no matter what their paycheck looks like. Some buyers walk into the market ready to write a check instead of relying on a pre-approval and worrying about rates. It's not unusual to see a home in Ballard or Queen Anne close for well over $1 million without a mortgage. There's no appraisal or financing contingency, just a wire transfer and a closing date. Think about that from the seller's side. One offer comes with a lender letter and a slower close. Another is all cash with fewer conditions. That makes a cash offer hard to beat, even when it isn't the highest price. Later, I'll show you how a finance buyer, though, can make an offer look much closer to cash. The cash competition isn't spread across all market. It's focused in a small group of neighborhoods, creating its own local market. The same pool of cash buyers keeps bidding on the same premium homes, so prices stay competitive even when mortgage rates rise elsewhere. But 25 to 2026 brought real layoffs at Amazon and Microsoft as both companies pushed deeper into AI. The source of wealth is not guaranteed. The buyers who still have this kind of cash make up a smaller, wealthier part of the tech workforce, and that's who you may be bidding against if you're looking in these neighborhoods. Cash buyers are changing the market, and one more group is doing the same. Their money has nothing to do with a job. What happens when people who can afford to live anywhere start asking if Seattle is still the right place for them? That's buyer group number 3, and it starts with Washington's tax laws. Washington doesn't have an income tax as of summer 2026, which is one reason high earners move here. But a few years ago, the state added a capital gains tax, and it isn't the flat rate you may have heard about. As of the 2025 tax year, gains up to $1 million are taxed at 7%. Anything above that $1 million is taxed at almost 10%. That tax mostly applies to stocks and business interests, not the sale of your main home. So for most people selling their personal residence, it won't apply. But for a business owner or someone with a large investment portfolio, it can be a major expense. That's leading some high earners to rethink where they officially live. Then there's the estate tax we talked about earlier for anyone planning what happens to their assets later. Put those taxes together and staying in Washington may feel less appealing to some wealthy households. When a wealthy household makes another state its official residence, a Seattle home may sell fast. Homes in places like Medina and Bellevue usually attract out-of-state buyers and in some cases money from overseas. Those buyers still want access to this economy even if they don't want Washington's tax bill. For some of those buyers, a Seattle house serves as a place to store wealth and hold value while the owner lives somewhere else. You won't see this in one big headline. It happens one closing at a time, inside escrow records most people never see, which makes the shift hard to spot. If you're a local buyer earning a typical Seattle paycheck, you're now competing with money that may be less affected by mortgage rates or a slower job market. You can still win, but the old playbook won't be enough. So how can you still win in this market? The buyers doing well in this market understand these three forces and know how to work around them, so let's break down what that looks like. First, stop waiting for 2019 prices. That market's gone. Seattle real estate has always been more about building equity over time than making money on day one. You buy, you hold, and the value can grow while you live your life in the house. Now, Seattle prices have leveled off over the past year. Some areas have even dipped a little, but over the last few decades, this market has still built long-term wealth for people who bought and held on. A slower period doesn't erase that. It may give buyers a better entry point than they've had in a while. If you're buying today, look for homes with rooms for an extra unit or enough space for more than one generation under the same roof. Seattle's comprehensive plan calls for more housing near transit, which can open the door for multi-unit homes and shared family setups. I've had many clients move their moms in with them instead of paying for outside care. Homes that can fit an extended family may see stronger demand as the wealth transfer grows. Those properties may get harder to find as more buyers catch on, so add that to your search from day one. If you're competing with cash buyers and out-of-state money, get fully underwritten before you write an offer. Don't stop at a pre-qualification. Full underwriting means your income, assets, and credit have already been verified by an underwriter, which makes your financing look much closer to cash on paper. That leaves less room for problems once you're in a contract and sellers can see the difference. Work with someone who knows which sellers care about the terms and pricing, not only the highest price. You should also look beyond the 2 or 3 neighborhoods everyone already wants. That's how a buyer with a normal paycheck may have more room to compete. Before you tour a house, get a clear idea of what an ADU or basement conversion may cost. A home that can support an extra unit or mother-in-law setup may offer more value over time than a similar home that can't, even when the prices look the same today. Remember that 1.5 million number from the tech buyers earlier? That may still feel steep, and that's fair, but buying and holding for 10 years can build after-tax wealth through equity and the mortgage balance you pay down. You may not make money from the home on day one. You're building an asset over time, and that's how Seattle real estate has worked for decades. Money is still coming from all three groups. Families are holding onto homes, tech buyers are paying cash, and out-of-state and overseas buyers are moving in. That makes a major price drop harder to picture. Buying here still takes work, but having a plan now can protect you from being priced out later. Now let's bring all of this together and talk about what you should do next. Seattle's next housing shift won't arrive as a wave of bargain listings. By the time the change feels obvious, some of the best openings may already be gone. If you're trying to compete with cash offers or decide what a paid-off home could mean for your family, email me at hello@mwagnerteam.com today. I'll walk through your timing, price range, and best next steps with you this week. The tech layoffs have you wondering whether Seattle's job market could pull housing down with it. Watch the video linked here. I break down why the market is splitting between Seattle and the East Side. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.